you want to call it. We've been trying to transition to YouTube more than TikTok anyways, but trying to get 50,000 followers to come to YouTube is a lot to ask for. So, it is what it is, right? We're going to build up from rock bottom here. We're going to get things going. If you guys are just joining in for the first time, welcome in. Appreciate y'all for joining. Welcome to the family. If you're new, if you're in the middle or been here for a while, appreciate you guys for coming back and rewatching this. Like I said, we're gonna go in depth on a severe weather outbreak, possibly a small tornado outbreak. Yes, Lincoln, I do, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Like I said, if there are people that go back and rewatch this live stream, I appreciate y'all. Just make sure y'all like the stream. Make sure y'all go watch the recent video that I just uploaded here a little bit ago. Like I said, this transition from TikTok to YouTube is going to be a pretty big one, so hopefully everybody kind of trickles in later on. All right, if I do have anybody else that comes in that's not modded, y'all are good. Like I said, looking at these two cells we got here in West Texas, not really looking at much other than some hail with these. Like I said, that tornado risk is definitely going to be something we watch out here over the next couple of hours. We got a slight risk of severe weather today here in the West Texas Panhandle, southern Oklahoma area here. It's a level 1 risk in the green shading here on both ends, Fort Stockton, and into shoot, I can't even talk today, into the Wichita Falls area, Brick Bunnet area, Altus area here, and then we got that level 2 risk here out of 5 in the yellow shading. This is kind of ramping up to be what we're going to be looking at as far as this week goes. This week is going to be a very, very dangerous week in the severe weather world. We've got a lot to kind of digest as far as this goes. Nana, welcome in. My Nana's in here. Heck yeah, let's go. We actually have a flood warning as well that is over top of the south of Fort Stockton here. You got a couple training cells that are going in here as well. Okay, we'll go live on TikTok as well here just so we can try and get some viewers to come in. Give me 1 second here, y'all. Rochelle just suggested we go live on TikTok too so we can get people to trickle in. So we'll do that. You said do subscribers only, I believe, love. That's what you said on that. Okay. Let me do it. Bear with me here for about 2.5 seconds, guys. Guys added in here. I'll be paying attention to my comments on my other TV screen over here, so if I have any moderators that haven't been added, I'll add you guys at the end of the stream here, so that way I know y'all are good. That way I can kind of run over and pay attention to everything here. Let's go ahead and do this. Bear with me here, y'all, for just a moment. All right, we are going to go live on TikTok, so we're good there too. I'll set you guys over here on the corner side. Alrighty. If anybody does want to donate anything toward the weekly donation goal, that is down there at the bottom. That is my Cash App on the middle bottom of the screen down there. Matthew060501. That is my Cash App if anybody wants to donate anything. That goes towards the streaming software. That goes also towards upgrading our weather center. That also goes towards upgrading the storm chase fund because we're storm chasing now. So we'll do that here. Yeah, we're gonna do that too, Nano. We'll definitely go over that here in just a minute. Guys, like I said, we have a very, very dangerous week on hands here as far as the severe weather, goes. If you guys are joining here on TikTok as well, make sure that you go watch me on the tube. I'm going to let Rochelle and everybody else handle that as well. This is definitely a wind and torrent-driven risk, I think, on Friday. Possibly on Thursday, we'll talk about it here and we'll watch it as well. But if we're looking at the overall picture, we'll go ahead and we'll go to our risk zone for tomorrow. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather tomorrow, and this is going to be turn this off here. Yeah. Marginal risk of severe weather for tomorrow for Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Norman, Shawnee, Elk City, Clinton, Altus, Lawton, and then you've got the southern panhandle area here of Texas from basically Big Lake, Midland, Odessa, Big Spring, Sweetwater. Tomorrow, this is really more, once again, of a conditional severe weather risk here in Texas and Oklahoma. We're talking hail, we're talking about some wind. We could see a small, maybe upgraded slight risk here, maybe in Big Spring, Sweetwater, maybe Snyder area. I've seen the models try and show a couple storm cells popping up with some large hail, so that might get upgraded for that hail risk, but really not thinking tomorrow is going to be... Tomorrow is basically the calm before the storm. We're going to be watching for a huge, big-time severe weather event starting on Thursday here. If you guys do not know, the Storm Prediction Center updates day 1 6 times a day. So basically our outlook for today gets updated. Each day will get updated 6 times a day. It gets updated at 1 o'clock in the morning is when day 1 comes out. And then it gets updated at 8 a.m. It gets updated at between 11:30 and 12-ish in the afternoon. And then it also gets updated at 3 and 4 p.m. In the afternoon, and then again one more time at 6 and 7 or 8 p.m. kind of that time range. So, and then day 2, basically the next day. So tomorrow's update gets updated twice a day, which is at 2 o'clock in the morning, between 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, and it also gets updated at 11 between 12 and 12:30 Central Time in the afternoon. And then if you guys don't know how day 3 works, day 3, the outlook for 2 days out in advance, or 3 days out in advance. So basically, this Thursday's outlook only gets issued one time a day, and that's at 3 o'clock in the morning. For the second time this year, from what I can remember, day 3 updated today at 12:30. We now have an enhanced risk of severe weather for Oklahoma, almost all of western Oklahoma, western Texas panhandle, into Kansas and into Nebraska, and the leading threat for Thursday's severe weather outbreak is going to be large hail up to 3 inches in diameter, with damaging winds probably, I think, up to 70 to 75 miles an hour. And they did add the conversation. It has been very, very much noted that strong to intense tornado probabilities are possible in all risk zones on Thursday. So we will be live here on YouTube on Thursday covering that. We'll be live Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday too. It's just kind of a given. But Thursday is going to be our first big tornado possibilities. We could see widespread violent tornadoes possible from Texas to southern Nebraska. This will probably be our first big risk zone that we've seen as far as that goes. The models, at least in my opinion, are trending more toward, I think, a higher risk zone, an upgraded risk zone. I think we might have a moderate by the time we get to Thursday, with them upgrading that level 3, or with them upgrading to a level 3 risk zone already 2 days out in advance. Or 3 days out in advance. We're probably going to get one more upgrade. The learning models are definitely showing a level 4 risk of severe weather. And if that happens, we could be looking at up to 4 to 5 inch diameter hail possibly in the central and southern plains by Thursday afternoon. So this is going to be, we'll have the timing of this, I believe, here pretty soon. I'm going to actually pop up that risk zone so you guys can see it here. This is the official new outlook for Thursday, April 25th. So what we are looking at here is a level 1 risk of severe weather in the green shading from Nebraska into eastern Colorado, down here to the Mexico and Texas line, through Dallas-Fort Worth area and up to southern Nebraska. In the yellow shading here, this is a level 2 risk out of 5. This is going to be for Kearney, Nebraska, down here to Wichita, Oklahoma City, Abilene, Midland, and then newly added today at 12:30 Central Time, we now have a level 3 risk of severe weather. Now, we don't know the official probabilities, the tornado, the wind, and the hail threat as of now, but we do know that the hail risk is going to be hatched. We know the tornado risk is going to be hatched, probably a wind threat as well with this, but this is a tornado and hail-driven event on Thursday. So if you live in western Tennessee, or western Oklahoma, that includes Elk City, Woodward, Perryton, Texas has had historic tornadoes last year. We've also got Pampa here as well. Very, very familiar areas we've covered many, many times last year, the closer to this time range. Childress, Memphis, Texas. We've got Mangum as well in this. We've got Sayre, Cheyenne, Oklahoma, Woodward, Oklahoma, Alva. You get up here into Dodge City. This is going to be a pretty interesting day on Thursday. And I say that because in the previous videos we've covered this week, in live streams that we've talked about this week, Thursday was supposed to be the initiation day, basically the lower end severe weather risk day compared to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. With Thursday already going enhanced 3 days in advance, it makes me think that Friday and Saturday are going to have a higher likelihood of possibly going moderate. There is the conversation we could potentially get our first high risk day of the year, and I think that that does happen. It would probably be on Friday or Saturday. That's just kind of my honest opinion on it. That is a word that I try not to use very often because that puts a lot of fear into people, especially with weather. We only had 2 high risk days out of the whole entire year last year, and that was March 31st and I believe August I don't remember the exact date in August, but it was along the East Coast. We had that 45% hatched wind threat from Baltimore down to basically Georgia, and that was a wind-driven event. But we're really going to be now watching out for violent long-track tornadoes on Thursday. I'm going to see here, I don't think the model, the Triple HR model, is quite in agreement yet, or in range yet to show. Yeah, we've still got a couple more. We've still got a couple more hours before the Triple HR picks up on it. So we'll look at the NAM here and see if it's showing anything. Can you guys hear me on YouTube? Is it working? I just want to make sure. Can y'all hear me okay? Hold on one second, y'all. You can hear me fine. Okay, we're good. Okay, I just wanted to make sure y'all could hear me on YouTube. Okay. Good. Awesome. Heck yeah. The dad's in here as well. Heck yeah. All right, so we did get a severe thunderstorm warning here for Texas as well. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. But like I said, Thursday is going to be now a pretty big, dangerous day as far as severe weather goes, guys. We are looking at that probably a hatched tornado risk, more than likely a hatched, clearly hail threat with this. We'll run over the full description of this in a minute. I want to see what the NAM is showing. Is the NAM showing anything yet with this? I think both days Lincoln potentially could. We'll just kind of see. That's something that the Storm Prediction Center does not take likely. So, okay. So as far as the day on Thursday goes, the NAM is not even quite in range yet with Thursday. Yeah, so Thursday's weird. I'm not going off the NAM right now. So right now, we'll look at the European run here in just a minute and the GFS run and talk about this. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning really quickly for anybody that is watching in Texas. If you're in Kent County or Garza County there in northwest Texas, severe thunderstorm warning here for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. So do be mindful of that if you were in that area there watching the stream currently. So, with that being said, that is our risk zone for Thursday. This is the official outlook. I do expect this to change pretty substantially over the next couple of days. Not substantially, but at least expand a little bit, maybe get upgraded again. We'll just kind of see. Texas, you're in that southern mode here. We'll see more of that large hail probably and damaging wind. I think that tornado threat is really going to be reserved for more of northern Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. We will talk about this here, excuse me, as we get closer to this event. I'll probably stay up until about 1 o'clock in the morning tonight and wait for this outlook to come out so I can kind of figure out what we're looking at. If you guys think that the storm risk is done and over with after Thursday, it is not. We now have we've had a risk zone. This is Friday's risk zone now. We are talking Fort Worth, Dallas metro area, McKinney area, Waco, all the way up in Oklahoma City, Tulsa. And then you were talking northwestern Arkansas. And then we are also talking Missouri, Western Illinois, mostly all of Iowa. If you were anywhere in this yellow shading here on Friday, this also has the potential to be upgraded to an enhanced risk probably, and possibly maybe even a moderate or high. I would not rule out anything with Friday and Saturday's risk zones right now with the amount of support and different ingredients that we're going to have in the atmosphere for severe weather. It's going to be a very big time event here this week that we're talking about. Nano, you guys are good until Monday. So this weekend looks fine down there. It's going to be Monday and Tuesday that your storms come through, and I don't think they're going to be too severe, if anything. It's probably just going to be your general rain and thunderstorms. We haven't gotten anything issued yet for Monday, so I won't know until probably the next couple of days gets here. But as of right now, it looks pretty good there. But yeah, like I said, this is Friday's risk zone. This is going to be a bigger tornado risk, I think, than what Thursday is going to be. And then we go into Saturday. And Saturday's risk zone is also here. Guess where it's at, guys? It is in northern Texas, all of Oklahoma, southern Kansas, and western Missouri. So if you're in Oklahoma, Texas, or Kansas, you are going to be in a risk zone at least 3 days in a row, if not 4. It starts Thursday, goes into Friday. This is now Saturday's risk zone here. We are talking another level 2 risk out of 5 here. Dallas-Fort Worth area, you're in it Friday. You're also in it on Saturday. This is going to be a pretty big hail, wind, and tornado risk once again that we're going to be watching out for. And then as we go into Sunday, guess what, guys? We got another risk zone on Sunday. You want to guess where that's at? That is another slight risk of severe weather from Dallas, McKinney, Texas, all the way up into southern Wisconsin on Sunday. And then the Storm Prediction Center has already talked about issuing a risk zone on Monday, and I think it could be from Louisiana possibly all the way to Pennsylvania. So we'll see that risk zone once it gets added, once that confidence increases. But we have at least 5 to 6 days of large, significant, severe weather starting on Thursday and going all the way until Monday of the next week. So if you guys are in any of these areas we have talked about so far, if you're, anything here, you need to be aware of significant severe weather in your area. This is going to be a very, very dangerous week. We have two different dynamic storm systems, both with strong tornado potential, large hail, and damaging winds. So in my area here, Preston, thank you for the love you on TikTok. I appreciate it, bud. If you guys are anywhere in these areas, especially Missouri, that Kansas, Nebraska, Texas area, you need to be possibly, if you have plans this weekend, not doing your plans. This is definitely a weekend. If you're in any of these risk zones, to please take the weather seriously. Please always take the weather seriously. But this is something I stress to people very, very tremendously. I have been streaming and doing this stuff for, I don't know, about 8 to 9 years roughly. And I have seen enough of these setups to know when these storm systems are going to bust or go big. And this is definitely a weak event that's potentially going to go pretty big and significant. And that's not something I like to say because, people's lives are at stake. We have to worry about keeping people safe and all of that. But this definitely has the potential to be our biggest storm system of the year. And we are only in April so far. So definitely something we're going to have to watch very closely. Orion, thank you for subscribing on TikTok. I appreciate you, bud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you guys, if you're watching on TikTok, that you are subscribed on YouTube as well. That's where all of this stuff is going to be at going forward. But thank you for that. I appreciate it, bud. Preston, thank you for all the gifts as well. You're awesome. Once again, if anybody does want to donate anything, like I said, my Cash App is at the bottom of the screen down there. That goes toward the chase funding when we chase. That also goes toward the stream setups as well for that. So, yeah, I'm surprised the Storm Prediction Center did not issue a 30% yet for Friday, but I think they're waiting. I think that'll clearly happen tonight now that we have an enhanced risk on Thursday. So I will be awake tonight when those do get issued as far as that goes. But that is all the way to Sunday. So multiple days of severe weather on the way, guys. And, this is going to be a very, very long stretch. I do expect to at least stream for maybe 40 to 50 hours between starting Thursday and then by next Monday, we'll have about 50 hours of streaming on this app. So definitely something that's going to be very, very much needed as well. Mississippi right now, you guys are in a general thunderstorm forecast. You're not in severe weather, so you're good. You're not really forecasted for any severe weather right now. That might change on Monday. We'll just kind of watch it and see. Alrighty, let's go ahead and let's pop over here to the Here we go. Let's go to the great old Storm Prediction Center here, and we'll talk about this. We do have, like I said, that active severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect here for north central Texas. This includes, this is out until 10 o'clock central time here. This is going to be a very, very low wind tornado risk. This is going to be morely driven by a wind threat and a hail threat with this. This is something we're going to watch here very, very closely. But if you are in that area there from Abilene to eastern side of Lubbock, be heads up for your storms tonight. If you guys just look, just looking at the storm prediction website, like this is absolutely insane. We're looking at risk zones all the way to possibly next Monday. And it's only going to go up once we get to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I think. I think we're talking, if you guys wanted my honest opinion, my 100% honest opinion on what I think is going to happen this weekend, I think there's definitely that potential for a tornado outbreak between Thursday and Sunday. Thursday and Friday look to be more on the end of discrete cells. Saturday looks to be more of a line. We'll have a couple line segments, maybe some embedded supercells that can produce some tornadoes as well. Sunday is going to be more closer to the Ohio Valley, Western Kentucky area here where I'm at. We're going to be watching for supercells overnight, Sunday night into Monday. That's kind of my thought process on it right now. That's something we're going to be watching very, very closely here in our area as long as everybody else. So, like I said, it's going to be a very, very busy week here as we go. Another thing I want to show you guys, this is what we look at. This is what's called the SIPS CSU SPC learning model. So you've got two different models here, and then you have the Storm Prediction Center here on the right side. So the right side of the screen, this is the SPC. This is their official outlook. This is what we go off of. The middle line here, this is what the CSU, the Colorado State University, issues. This is their learning models. This is kind of a new kind of like AI thing that we've been seeing here for a couple of months now. It's actually been pretty frequently legitimately accurate. And so saying that, we're going to talk about what these are showing here in a minute. But this is something we're watching very closely as well. The model and agreements are going definitely with what the learning models are showing, and the learning models are kind of going with the Storm Prediction Center is saying, so that's cool. And then on the left side, far side here of the screen, you've got the CIPS model, and this basically shows the analog. This will basically compare these storm systems to past ones in history that have produced risk zones that are manageably compared to what we could have here. So it's a really, really cool thing. We're going to start to talk about this more and show this more as far as the as far as severe weather goes, but definitely a really cool fact to kind of show what we're looking at as far as where things could be at, kind of comparing different things. If you look at specifically Thursday. This is something that we've been trending towards very quickly here, and today just kind of verified that a little bit more. This is the CSU out of Colorado State University run. They have a hatched, enhanced, and moderate risk issued on Thursday. So there's a good chance that our risk zone on Thursday potentially could get upgraded to moderate, with us already being 3 days in advance. And I think that's why that enhanced risk came out. But you can already see here the probability is maxed out at 0.52. That is definitely in the moderate range, getting close to that high risk zone potentially. That's just what the CSU is showing. It's not saying what we're actually going to get. I want to make that clear as well with you guys. But there's a chance that this is, a problem that we could see. As we go into Friday, we have another hatched, enhanced, and moderate risk on the CSU, and this is probability right at 0.45, so right around that moderate threshold. I still think Friday has the chance of being bigger. And then on Saturday, we have another moderate risk and enhanced hatched risk here as well. So 3+ days in a row here of at least very, very significant severe weather, if not by 4 by Sunday. So if you, like I said, or if you're in the Central Plains, the Southern Plains, the Midwest, the Ozarks, the Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley, this is going to be a very, very insanely crazy week potentially. There's always that possibility that storm systems bust. We've seen that happen a lot, but with this being, the different ingredients that we're going to have for the severe weather setup, I don't see that becoming too much of a problem. We'll talk about that more here in a minute. Thank you for the rose, the shop. I appreciate you as well. If you guys are watching on TikTok as well, make sure you guys go subscribe to me on YouTube. That is where we are at. That's where all the graphics are at. That's where everything's at. So if you guys want to watch me, make sure y'all transition over here. On Sunday, the learning models do have that slight risk of severe weather pretty matched up from southern Wisconsin to Texas. They do have a hinting at a potential for the small enhanced risk to come out. We'll talk more about that on Sunday if that happens as well. I'm traveling to Indiana on the 13th, and I know it's hard to see right now, but yeah, I will definitely keep you updated, Anna. If you come to Indiana, I will meet you halfway, and we'll come there, because Indiana, Evansville is like 30 minutes from us, so we will come visit if that's the case. But yeah, so we're watching this closely, and then on Monday, there's a small and marginal risk as of right now that could be issued. We'll talk more about that here in a minute as well. Yeah, so there's a lot of people as well. I've had the questions in my comments. I've had this a lot too. There's a lot of people trying to compare this to 2011 super outbreak. I don't think we're in super outbreak material. I think we need a lot more oomph to kind of get there, but it's definitely possible. And if you guys do know, April 26th through the 28th was the significant super tornado outbreak of 2011, and these are the exact same dates that we had that happen, and that we are going to be talking about that severe weather happening in now. So I know there's a lot of trauma from a lot of people that have been in that. I was 10 years old when the 2011 outbreak happened, so I was very young, but I learned a lot from it. I've studied a lot. I can definitely tell you guys there are some similarities for sure with this, but not, I don't think, as significant as that was. That was a 3-day period in time that was very, very, very rare. A very, very rare day that happened. You got to have a lot of things coming together for that. I'll have to check where that is, Nana, and see where that's at from here, but wouldn't count that out potentially being a visit. We'll see here. If you guys go up there, we'll definitely see. So that is our learning model. Let's go talk about what the actual models. But yeah, so Craig, no, you're good. You're good, bud. You're good. You're good. So here's the latest European run. We're going to talk about this compared to some of the other ones here. I like to go with the Euro. The Euro is pretty decent with a lot of accuracy with stuff. We'll start to look more at the short range models tomorrow when those kick in. But the European model run here, let's go look at our trough. Let's go look at our 300 millibar jet stream here. This is going to control our highs, our lows, kind of where our ridges are, our lows are at. So, right now, pretty quiet. It's been very, very nice the last couple of days. We do have a trailing cold front that's going to be coming through the East Coast and up to the Ohio Valley. You can kind of see this elongated shortwave trough up here on the right side. There's been some snow up here in Maine over the last 2 days as well. So we're going to be watching this as well. Aiden, I'll do it at the end of the stream. I'll make sure everybody's modded at the end of the stream here. So this will be moving down. Me and Rochelle are actually very cloudy right now. We're supposed to get some heavy rain here tonight in Western Kentucky, Southern Illinois, Southern Indiana, and Ohio. No severe weather with that, but it's just that sweeping cold front that'll come down. But if you look up on the left side of the screen, this is our first storm system right here. This is a shortwave trough, kind of attached to a longer trough ejection. But this is the one we're watching for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So this is going to enter the country tonight. It's actually kind of already almost in the rearview mirror here, but this is going to start to bring in that marginal risk of severe weather that we already have for Texas tomorrow. This is part of that. But watch what happens on Thursday. This comes across the Four Corners in the Central Plains, and right on Thursday night, right as that severe weather is starting to maximize and ramp up here along the four corners, you got a negatively tilted trough, southwesterly winds in the upper levels pushing 100 knots, maybe a little bit lower than that, 90 to 100 knots here. This is going to be definitely supportive as far as bringing in instability, bringing in high dew points, which is what you need for severe weather. This is definitely something we're going to have to watch very, very closely as far as, like I said, Thursday goes, with that risk zone already being at for sure. Excuse me. But that is our first storm system. On Thursday and Friday, that moves up the East Coast. Friday, we get our risk zone with our trough ejection up here into Missouri, Iowa, eastern Kansas, eastern Oklahoma. And then watch, guys, watch what happens on the left side of the screen. Again, this is our second storm system. So two different lows responsible for the severe weather starting Thursday to Sunday. The low that comes in here on Friday and Saturday and Sunday is a bigger storm setup. So this low that comes in second is going to be a stronger one than what the first one's going to be. So if Thursday and Friday severe weather produces substantially, Saturday and Sunday have the chance of being a little bit more buoyant with the amount of upper level winds and support that we're going to have with this. As far as this goes, this ejects on Friday and Saturday. You get that negatively tilted trough across the Central Plains and Midwest. Very, very much a negatively tilted trough here. You get that backwards U-shape shaped here. You can see your southwesterly winds, and then coming up out of the north, you'll have your wind direction change with height, which will help support that mid-level and lower-level rotation for your tornadoes. And then after we get past next Tuesday, April 30th, it looks to be we could potentially maybe have a small little ridge develop, which would keep everything quiet, which is awesome because if something does happen, people need time to kind of reconvene, get themselves together. I hate to say this, but there will be probably damage clearly after something like this comes through. So this will kind of give people a little bit of time to get themselves back together. I hope and pray that everybody stays safe for this, but it always is very concerning when you have something going on like this. And then after that, we could see another trough ejection along the West Coast. That's far out. We'll talk more about that later on. We'll look at the 500 millibar winds here as well. This is our mid-level jet. This controls our updrafts, our hail, our damaging wind. This is what helps keeps your storms healthy and maintained. We are going to be watching that trough ejection once again. There's your first one. Mid-level winds pushing 60 to 75 knots, which is very, 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 very supportive for strong updrafts. I really think our damaging wind event is going to evolve. We'll have a pretty big squall line possibly develop with some QLCS tornadoes on Saturday. And then you can already see that second trough dipping in here after this. And we're going to have to watch this one as well as this ejects, as this will be a stronger jet stream on the second storm. So another thing, guys, this is a teaching moment for everybody as well. This is what's called the 850 millibar. This is our low-level jet. So basically, if you go outside and you look a mile up in the ground, look a mile up into the sky, this is your winds at the lower levels. This is what pulls your rotation, your updrafts down from your mid and upper levels in your storms. You get this thing to spin. This is where we ask for that wind direction change with high. So if your winds are coming out of the southwest in your mid and upper levels, and your low-level jet is also coming out of the southwest, you're turning your wind direction change with height there from the mid to lower levels, and you pull out that rotation and you get that tornado to form. So that's kind of where this becomes a big factor in helping predict where tornadoes are going to be at. And so if we look at Thursday here, this is right around Thursday between 8 p.m. and midnight. You start to see that low-level jet. You'll have your upper-level winds going out of the southwest, and you'll start to see your winds go from south a little bit more to southwest here, and that'll help ramp up that tornado risk on Thursday, where we have more than likely a pretty big hatch tornado risk on Thursday. We'll see that tonight, what that looks like. The big question, right? What is going to happen on Friday? Friday and Saturday, this low-level jet really intensifies pretty substantially here. We have a low-level jet pushing hurricane force winds, 60 to 75 knots across the Midwest, Eastern Plains, Central Plains, and Ohio Valley on Friday. Here is my 100% honest accuracy with you guys. If any of the storms that do fire off on Friday night, and Saturday night, if any of these storms between that 48-hour window can go discrete, we will have the chance for violent long track tornadoes, with the low level jet being favorable as it is. If we have line segments or squall lines, or with the wind threats, those linear motional storms that come through, this is definitely going to produce a QLCS tornado risk. It's something we're going to be watching for as well. But anytime this low level jet is right around 50 to 60 plus knots, that is very substantial for tornado genesis, and that's something we're going to be watching for very carefully as well. Like I said, we will be live streaming this whole event 5 days in a row. It'll be exhausting. We're going to get through it. We're going to be here with you guys to get you guys through this. By Saturday morning, we've got a low-level jet from Texas all the way to the Michigan and Great Lakes over 45 knots. So that is the first storm system. That low officially exits on Friday and Saturday. You'll get your second trough that develops, and watch what happens on Saturday night and Sunday, guys. Saturday night is going to be an all-night, overnight hours event. So we're talking all night long into Sunday morning. You'll have your low right over the Central Plains. Your low-level jet pretty much almost gets maximized. So the websites that we use for our winds, this goes all the way up to maximization almost on our legend key. So when we're seeing that happen and your low level jet is maximized, you know your tornado risk is going to be existent, very, very much existent here. In that warm sector right along that low and your cold front kind of off to the left, that dry line enforcement, we're definitely going to have a lot of spin in the atmosphere for storms to produce tornadoes. I want to make that known. If you are in these risk zones, your tornado risk is going to be pretty substantial depending on where these final risk zones and where these where the low is officially positioned at once we get closer to this event. As we go into that Sunday time frame, this does start to move into the eastern Midwest and Ohio Valley, and by Monday, this is pretty much out of here Monday night into Tuesday, and this storm system is pretty much gone. So 2 lows in a matter of 5 days, roughly, give or take a few. And that's something we're going to be watching very, very closely. Another thing we look at for severe weather, these are going to be our dew points. You need dew points right above. Really, technically, severe weather can organize and develop isolated anywhere from 55, 52 dew points. If your dew point's 52 or higher, you can get severe weather. But anytime it's above 60, you're pretty much getting to that window where severe weather becomes more scattered and numerous because your instability in the mid and lower levels and upper levels is pretty much saturated. The higher your dew points are, the higher your chances are going to be of seeing that organized severe weather threat because your storms can function, they can mature, your updrafts are saturated at all levels, so that's another thing as well that we're going to be watching for you as well. Welcome in, Desiree. Appreciate you for joining in here. I'm glad you found us on here. Watch our dew points, guys, on Thursday. So right along that dry line here on Thursday, we'll stop this right at 6 p.m., right as those storms are kind of starting to initiate. You got your low coming off of the Rockies here. You got your dew points along the dry line pushing mid, maybe some upper 60s here. This is the area right here where that forcing. You'll have your southwesterly winds coming out. You'll have your upper level jet as well. Definitely going to be watching for some significant severe weather on Thursday, clearly already by the SPC. Those dew points continue to rise into Friday, all the way up into Iowa. Anywhere up and down this corridor from Texas to Iowa and into Missouri, we're going to be watching for those high dew points. And into, guess what, guys? As that second storm system comes in on Friday night and Saturday morning, you get an even stronger pull of moisture all the way up into southern Wisconsin, possibly into the Canada line. So we'll be watching for storms on Friday night and Saturday from basically Texas all the way to Michigan and southern Wisconsin for that severe weather potential. And then this starts to go away once we get closer to that Sunday time frame. It'll move across the Ohio Valley, and then we could see another storm system the following week. And watch this, guys. This is the first week of May. We've got another storm system that could potentially come in behind this. So we're going to have to watch maybe at least a week, 2+ weeks of severe weather potentially on the way here. Pretty consistent. All right, another thing we want to look at as well. What does the radar look like? Like I said, the short range models, our Triple HR, our RAP, our NAM, those aren't going to start to really kick in until tonight for Thursday and Friday. So this is something we're going to watch. For anybody that's joining my stream that's part of the team, I'll mod everybody at the end of the stream that's not. I'm just going to finish running through this and then we'll go over that, or I'll go over and do that with you guys. But this is what our radar could potentially look like here according to the Euro. There's a little bit of discrepancy between the GFS and the Euro. We'll look more at that later on. But our Euro model showing some stronger storms developing out here toward the Oklahoma, Kansas area. It's really right around that midnight, 8 p.m. to midnight time frame that these storms initiate, and we'll be looking for that severe weather here along the dry line that forms from Kansas, Oklahoma into southern Texas. And then we get into the Friday time frame. It looks to me when we wake up Friday morning, we'll already have a line segment going from Texas to Oklahoma, and we'll start to see more development here on Friday. The thing about Thursday into Friday, so once these storms start firing off on Thursday, when the sun goes down and we get into the overnight hours, these storms aren't going to stop. This Pacific cold, it's called like a cold Pacific vortex or whatever it is. It's going to be up where the low is at. We're going to kind of have 2 different areas like I've got circled here. The southern mode here will already be ongoing Friday morning, and then Friday morning and Friday afternoon will already have cells developing in Missouri, Iowa. So it looks to me, if we're going to stream on Thursday, it's going to probably be Thursday night all the way through Friday morning. So like I said, guys, it's going to be a very, very exhausting week as far as YouTube streaming goes. And then we go into Friday afternoon and Friday night, and we redevelop some of these storms, and they go east into Missouri, into Arkansas. We get the atmosphere ready to go. That storm system moves off on Friday night into Saturday morning, and then here on Saturday afternoon, watch what happens, guys. We get thunderstorm activity along, once again, another dry line setup for Saturday night into Sunday. You get possibly an MCS that develops, a couple of discrete supercells as well, and then we go into that Saturday time frame, or Saturday, but Sunday morning time frame, overnight Saturday into Sunday. We got a squall line from the Mexico-Texas line all the way up to Tulsa, Oklahoma, possibly. And so we do need to watch for the consideration, possibly for a small end derecho. That conversation is not had too often. But with these models, until we get these short-range models that kick in, excuse me, we won't really know the full extent of what this is going to look like on the radar. And then as we go into Sunday, Sunday and Monday look to be more of a conditional risk zone, but I do think anywhere from East Texas, Louisiana up to Michigan will have a conditional risk for severe weather where that slight risk is currently at now, where I think this will start to move into Kentucky, maybe Western Tennessee, into Indiana, Illinois, Sunday night into Monday. It looks to be overnight, and then that storm system is done, and then we could be talking about another low the following week. That's something we'll be watching very, very closely too. So, yeah, we're going to be streaming possibly for about 50 to 60 hours this week, just within the next 5 days. It's going to get very, very crazy, very, very exhausting. We've kind of talked about this as a group all week, so y'all kind of know how that works. Another thing as well that we're going to look at is our instability, and I really don't have to show this too much because, you know, the instability that we need, which is basically fueling these thunderstorms here, is going to be pretty ample. There's our instability on Thursday and Friday. We move this up into the Midwest and into the eastern Oklahoma and Texas area here on Friday and Saturday, and then we get an even bigger surge on Saturday night and into Sunday, where we think that dry line is going to force. So once, like I said, once these short-range models kick in, we will have more of an idea on what we're going to be looking at as far as the severity of this goes, and then we have another storm system possibly the following week. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very, very hectic the next 5+ days in a row, if not longer than that. So we're going to strap in. We're going to keep you guys safe. Y'all know my motto, educating and saving lives is what we do. That's what we're going to continue to do. Am I very, very frustrated with what's happening on TikTok right now? Yes. But we're going to get you guys transitioned over here to the YouTube channel. If you guys are on TikTok right now, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all do subscribe on YouTube so you can see this stuff. We will not be on TikTok, I don't think, this week at all, unless it's for video posting. So make sure you guys do come over there. If you're on YouTube and you've made that transition, I appreciate you guys. Let me transition back over here. Let's get this pulled up. All right. So do I have any questions from anybody? But kind of before we kind of get ready to kind of wrap some things up, I'll add my mods here in just a minute as well. I'm gonna watch for the comments. For my people on TikTok, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream so I can use my phone for so I can edit stuff. So if you guys are watching on TikTok, make sure you guys are subbed on YouTube. The link is in my bio. I appreciate y'all for watching on there, and I will see y'all later. All right, YouTube people. If somebody just puts, I don't know what that said in the comments. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me get back over here to you guys. Alrighty. So Ardmore, Oklahoma for Friday and Saturday. It looks to be yes. Definitely gonna be possible. Conditional on Thursday. Hazel is crying, so if y'all hear Hazel, I'm sorry. Okay, Preston, that's fine, bud. Thursday, I don't think it's conditional. I don't really think it is. If we go and we look at the storm prediction here, with their updated forecasts, guess what? I'm going to read the exact words to you guys that the Storm Prediction Center said in today's update. In both of these areas that are highlighted, so the slight and the enhanced risk, storms are expected to move east-northward off the dry line, encountering strengthening low-level southwesterly flow, an environment that is increasingly favorable for tornadoes. Low-level shear will continue to strengthen into the early evening, and the overall environment supports the potential for strong to intense tornadoes if a discrete mode can be maintained. So basically, if our storms are isolated and we have supercells ongoing, we have the potential for EF3, EF4, EF5 tornadoes. That's basically what they're saying. And this is for Thursday overnight hours, I should say. This is going to be a late evening Thursday into overnight Thursday night, probably into Friday morning. That's kind of my thought process on this. We'll see what that officially looks like tonight once these models kick in. And they've also called for up to 3-inch diameter hail. So if you live in this area, you need to have your car under a garage or something, because now we're starting to deal with that baseball, what is it, baseball to teacup size hail. We could even see hail up to 4 inches, maybe 5 inches in diameter as well with these updrafts it'll be as well. So, guys, so, and here's the question too. Do I think Missouri will be more overnight? I think Friday, what is it, Friday? I'll double check here and look. Yeah, Friday will be overnight. It'll be afternoon, closer to the overnight hours. I think each day, starting Thursday all the way to Sunday, we're going to have that overnight threat. And I will make this another thing known, guys. If this does go moderate or high risk, we are going to be talking about a very, very strong tornado risk if that happens. Do I think this is driven by tornadoes right now? Kind of maybe. I think this is going to be more of a wind threat and then that tornado threat and then your hail. But I think this could be upgraded very substantially if the models continue to trend the way they're going. A lot has to happen for a tornado outbreak to occur, and, you know, this is kind of in that middle to high-end phase, I think, in that category. So, it's something we're going to have to continue to monitor very quickly. These next couple of updates that we get over the next couple of days are going to be substantial. I would not be surprised if we get a day 3 outlook each day now that we're into that range after what happened today. If we get a day 3 outlook for the next 3 days in a row, we're going to know something's up. I mean, we already know something's up, so that's just kind of what we're sitting for. If you guys have storm anxiety, I'm not trying to hype anybody up. I'm just trying to let you guys know the legitimate seriousness of these risk zones that could be a factor this week, and it's definitely going to be a factor. Definitely for sure. This is the biggest 2 storm threats I think I've seen so far this year. When you go and when you go have 3 days that potentially could go moderate or high risk day, it's pretty substantial. So, do I got any questions in the chat? I appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all are awesome. Super, super, super awesome. Make sure y'all do go watch, at least try and watch or like the video that I did post today. We are going to be full-time on YouTube now, so make sure y'all are aware of that. Full-time on YouTube. This is where the streams will be. We might go live on TikTok here and there to kind of promote some things, but I've only got a short window to do that. I'm taking a break from TikTok, guys. Like, I'm at that point where I'm very, very, very frustrated with what is going on right now on that app. We all knew it was coming, but it's just the idea that 2 years of hard work on that app is pretty much going to just go away down the drain. It's crazy to me. Unless a miracle happens, but we're going to work on this side of things. We're going to get up there with it. No, you're not, Elizabeth. What do you think about Northern Indiana will look like? I think you'll have a slight risk on Saturday, maybe Sunday, not Saturday, but it'll be Sunday into Monday potentially, but we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of critiquing that has to be done with this forecast. I think we're about to enter a phase where the Storm Prediction Centers are probably about to flip out and probably shit themselves with what's getting ready to happen. That's just my honest opinion on it. Y'all know I'm very, very honest and very serious with my answers, and I can tell you guys right now, it does not look good. But like I said, if you have storm anxiety, we're going to be streaming this the next 5 days. We're going to keep you guys safe. If you are in these risk zones and you do watch me, make sure that you have a storm preparedness plan, have a tornado action plan. If you've got kiddos, infants, or little ones, make sure a car seat is a great place to put them and take them with you into your storm shelter. It keeps them secure. It keeps you, makes you feel better. We do that with our kiddos. When we get severe weather risk, me and Rochelle have had 4 10% hatch tornado risk in our backyard here in Western Kentucky this year. None of them have happened, at least close to. We've had a couple that have been near here. But we do the same thing with our kiddos. So I'm a dad to 2 kids, a 1-year-old and a 6-year-old. So I would not tell y'all something if I wouldn't do it for my kids. Yeah, for real. Yep. So it's going to be a long one, guys. It's going to be a very, very, very long one. We're gonna be exhausted. We're gonna be ready for vacation when next Tuesday gets here, if there is a vacation time frame. That's what I like to call it. But buckle up, strap in, y'all. We've been waiting for something crazy to happen all year long. We've had these little breaks in between our other severe weather events. A lot of our severe weather events this year haven't evolved the way they were supposed to, which has been awesome sauce news. I've been happy for that. But I think we are kind of just overdue for something. I hate to say that word, but like when you see a setup like this, it's something that you have to think about. So I don't know what you guys are saying in Spanish down there, but I don't understand it. But if you guys got any last minute questions, I'm gonna give y'all about 4 more minutes here, and we're gonna wrap up the stream. I will be posting daily now on YouTube. I still will probably post videos on TikTok to try and get people to come over here. But as far as live streams go, we are on YouTube full-time live streaming. There's no more TikTok streaming weather. It is done. It is over with for now. I want to get this page ready to go. That way, when that app does go, if it does go, goodbye. We are set and comfortable where we're at. So you guys are the beginners. You guys are the first ones here. You guys are my first people. You will always be here. I will appreciate you guys. I'll appreciate everybody, but that's what we'll see. Yeah, Aiden, I think it's going to be highly likely, for sure. And I hate to say that. I absolutely hate to say that. So make sure as well, you guys go check out the merch website. That merch shop link is there on the left bottom side of my panel, where you can see all the merch options already kind of sitting there. Rochelle did a great job at reorganizing the stream layout. I appreciate her a lot. We'll be watching that. Oh shoot, that's crazy, babe. What the hell is it? So, so you've got 3 warnings, tornado warnings technically, that basically can be issued. You got a regular tornado warning. You got a PDS tornado warning, which is a particularly dangerous situation. It's a large, violent tornado on the ground going into a populated city. That's why they issue it a PDS. It's a second upgrade. Tornado emergency is a large, very, very, very wedge violent tornado, like your EF4s, your EF5, your EF3s, your EF2s, whatever, going through a extremely populated area. They only issue it for those capital states, some cities that exceed a certain population. We've not seen one of those since last year. I don't want to see one of those, but actually the last one that happened was Nashville and Henderson, Tennessee last year in December. I covered that severe weather event as well. We had Clarksville, we had Nashville, Tennessee, and we had Henderson, Tennessee. And that is about an hour and a half down to our south. That was before I moved. And remember that stream clear as day. We were on stream for 8 hours that day. We were in a slight risk of severe weather across Kentucky and Tennessee. The Storm Prediction Center messed up on it and issued an enhanced risk of severe weather last minute as those tornadoes were ongoing. Everybody thought the storm system was going to bust. It did not, and it was a big one. A very, very damaging one as well. We lost 4 people that day. So the Storm Prediction Center, I do highly respect clearly because they're way up there. They're higher than us. I have to respect everybody higher than us. Do I agree with the outlooks and some things that are done? No. That's just kind of my opinion. I've been streaming for 8 to 9 years on different apps here, and I've been through a lot of these storms myself, and I've seen a lot of them and watched them play out. And I'm very, very familiar with how these things set up. And when you see something that sets up like this, and they don't take it seriously, or you see something that has the potential and they don't take it seriously, it's just, you have your mixed feelings on it. So that's why I get on here and I stress to you guys what I think is going to happen, what they're thinking is going to happen. I kind of just go happy medium in the middle, and I give you guys that forecast. But I wouldn't be on here stressing a potential tornado outbreak if the tornado outbreak was not possible. So I want y'all to understand the severity of what could happen over the next couple of days, starting with Thursday. Thursday, once again, was supposed to be the slower end risk day. I'm supposed to be watching the NFL draft on Thursday, but we're going to be doing severe weather live coverage, so it's okay. Yes, the NFL draft is on Thursday and Friday and Saturday this weekend, which is great. But we'll be severe weather coveraging it, so it's no worries. If you guys do want to donate anything, again, my Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's the Matthew060501. It's also linked in my bio on YouTube and TikTok. All donations go toward the stream. They go towards helping the Chase Fund as well. That is our weekly donation goal down there, that $300. If we can do anything, we can do that. That would be awesome. Can we watch both? Absolutely, but I'm only going to be live now on YouTube doing the weather. TikTok live streams will probably still happen until the app goes, because I'm trying to get everybody to come over here. But we'll do that. Trey, I can't do that. It doesn't work like that. There's a lot of behind the scenes that goes into having to stream on here and stream on there. So, got any more questions, guys, before we call it a night here? I'll be doing another live stream briefing at some point tomorrow. We'll have another video tomorrow. I expect tomorrow's video to be a lot longer of a video because we're going to get a lot of information tonight. We're probably going to get some pretty crazy risk zone updates tonight. We could be looking at a moderate tomorrow. We could be looking at a couple enhanced days. I think that's definitely going to be possible. This severe weather risk is going to be pretty crazy. Who do I not have modded on here? I need to mod Elizabeth. What else do I need to moderate? If I have not modded you and you're on the team here, please comment. No problem, Christina. I appreciate you guys for being on here. There's only 28 of y'all. It's a lot more. I will say this right now. When there's only 28 people, I don't have to worry about ridiculous, crazy comments. Most of y'all are pretty. Oh, I did not mean to hide that. Sorry, I did not mean to do that. I hit the wrong button, Hannah. Hannah, will you comment one more time? I hit the wrong button. Oh, no problem, Minnie. I appreciate you guys. I do. I really appreciate you guys. Seriously. She is one. Did it go through? I don't know if it did or not. Just want to make sure. No, I know she's a mod. I meant, like, did it go through on here? There we go. I just got it to go through. We're good. I appreciate you, Catherine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right.